How are you doing? Hope you're doing well and are happy. Today we are going to talk about prompting. Let's talk about the evil. If you don't understand prompting, you can't be an AI artist, and I'm sorry for that. You can't get a good result. I will share almost 3 years of trial and error processing of prompting with different AI platforms, and these are all pro tips I develop and even currently use for making an amazing result that is not comparable, aiming for breathtaking, eye-pleasing results. This video is definitely for AI rats, those who will get serious understanding of the process and become the next great artist in their contact network or hopefully globally in this new era. You probably want to do anything that is related to AI-generated content, and you find your favorite platform on AI, which is Firefly for me, then it's you and the black prompt box. And you may not sure what and how you have to write it. Well, today we are making a progress in understanding prompting, and it will be your ultimate guide to dominate with your prompt box in Firefly. In upcoming minutes, you can expect super exciting subject that we will dive in, such as visual building block in AI prompting. I will give you some coordination example to tweak your ideas into your own unique way, image elements breakdown that make your work different, and we throw out all AI looks ugly plastic work from now on. And I have secrets to share with you in the end of this video. You will get the exact image very close to the result you are aiming for. Put it in a simple word, prompting is a process of communication between you and your AI assistant. Just have it in mind, these prompt principles will be combined with your vision and make your next AI gen eye-catching. I will show you the very right way to prompting, and this is just the beginning. For those who don't know me, my name is Alvis and I have been worked with brands like Wolff, H&M, BBC, and did very first AI concept work for Porsche, Hermes, and Adidas, and many more. I will give you straightforward AI gen tutorials so you can work with your dream clients. Take your notes and coffee because we are about to dive in. What is truly astonishing for me and amazing for me with AI is that the only limitation you have with AI is your imagination, actually, because execution level is amazing. You can almost have whatever you want. This is why I provide the ultimate guide to Firefly text to image prompting for you guys. Text to image is the fundamental of working with AI because you communicating through the text, through the word with AI machine that can understand you better, and you can give an indication of what you are looking for and what you are seeking for. So for upcoming minutes, we're going to be talking about image elements breakdown that going to be show you some example and some references of how prompt can be. The second part is visual building blocks that you can see what are the blocks and how the prompting parameters work. I'm also going to be showing you some coordination example, how we can tweak and modify your prompting. I'm going to give you some pro prompt tips about what you should avoid and what you should have in your prompt. And also we're going to be talking about next step, next upcoming videos, future, and also what you should do, what I expect from you to do in your upcoming days and weeks. So I would love to start with an example of an image that I made with Firefly. As you can see, this image is beautiful, and I want to just zoom in for a second so you can see closer how beautiful is this image, how detailed is this image, and how realistic is image. And if you are looking for aiming to get something similar, I'm going to show you the way, guys. So don't be worried. As I said, it's going to be dividing your creativity path after this video. So I put my prompt here also. You can see my prompt lines here that I have been using, also parameters that I choose from Adobe Firefly. Let's just read it loud out so you can understand it, and I can go through each part that we have in this prompt. I just want to take a moment to say something before we go through this breaking down, because each word you choose on your prompt box matter. It's super important actually, because this is how you communicate with the AI machine. And if you are going around and spinning around, you're not going to be getting the result that you have in your mind. For me, it's super important to get exactly what I want. I'm not giving a chance for randomizing. First, word that I choose was real life image. Because for the first part, as a phototype, you should indicate what you are looking for. Are you looking for a 3D image? Are you looking for a graphic image? Are you looking for hyper-realistic, fashion editorial, I don't know, realistic image, car, commercial? So this is going to be your first step. If you are looking for a landscape photography, so you're going to be writing a landscape photography. If you are looking for a portrait shot, you're going to be writing a portrait shot. So this very first word is matter, because it's going to be super crucial for AI and for your result. And this is why I choose a real life image. And this is my phototype. So second part is photo subject plus action. And for this part, I have been choose a female lion running with speed, motion blur. Guys, I have two parameters, motion blurs, and I have running with speed. And I also have a female lion. So obviously now you can see a female lion. She's here. And then you can see she's running with speed. And also you can see motion blurs here on the dust. These are super crispy, but these are having motion blur. So by have the understanding of what is the subject that you are looking for and what it do, you're going to get the better result. And this is what I'm looked for. A real life image of a female lion running with speed. Motion blur. You can divide this element with semicolons. Don't use semicolons without any reason. Use semicolons when you want to divide your block, when you want to divide your parameters of prompting. And the next part for me was environment, because environment is important. If you don't indicate environment, it can be randomized. Like I can have a female lion which is running in motion blur with the speed, but what I get in background is I'm going to give a chance to AI to just have some creativity. And if you okay with that, that's good. But if you want to have something professional, because in professionality, the details are matter. This is what makes the work different. The all process of doing something is about detail. So this is what you have to pay attention to details. And for me, environment was important. So this is why I choose a desert in Africa, sunset. And this is why you can see, this is a desert in Africa. And also by dividing with semicolons, I choose sunset as my lighting setup. That was the worst line ever. The sunset. The sunset is my lighting setup. And this is why you can see the lighting setup. You can imagine the sun is here. So this is the sun and it's sunset and the light coming toward this direction. So this is why you have the golden color. You have the golden color in background and here also. And it's super subtle, beautiful, discreet lighting, which is coming from sunset. So if you can replicate, if you can somehow emphasize each parameter even further, you're going to get better results. So for example, I have sunset and I have desert in Africa. So these two parameters are quite similar. So when I say sunset, you just probably imagine something gold color in your mind as a photographer. And when I say desert in Africa, you may have some imagination of same color palettes in these two. And it's same thing here with motion blur and also speed. So motion blur and speed, I'm just not repeating myself, because if you're repeating yourself, you're not going to get the result. It's going to be confusing AI, and also it's going to be, because as I say, every word matters. So when you're repeating yourself somehow, you're confusing AI by repetitive parameters, which just, it's not optimal, it's not optimal simply. So but this is different, because I can have desert in Africa, but it can be morning. I don't know, maybe it can be, I don't know, super greeny, I don't know, like Amazon. But when I say sunset and desert in Africa, this is what you get. This is how you can just push further the limit of your AI in a better way. And this is my lighting setup. And for the last part, for composition, I choose golden ratio composition. And hopefully, if you are coming from background of traditional photography, now we should say traditional photography, because like a couple of years ago, that was analog photography and digital photography. Now, every kind of photography is traditional photography, I think. No hate to photographer, because I'm a photographer as well. My background is photography and I love photography, but yeah, this is new era. Golden ratio composition is here, and we have the composition. And what you see here, I have the golden ratio composition. I have the golden ratio composition. And this is why I just indicated to my AI. So this is another example, another coordination of blocks. And I just wanted to zoom in so you can see better how detailed is this photo, how amazing is the skin tone, how amazing is the lip and also eye, and also what you see from these fishes are so amazing. And also what I'm in love with are these bubbles in the head of the picture. Now we have a better understanding of prompt elements. And my first element here is editorial photography. So this is going to be my photo type that I choose. Photo type, editorial photography, editorial portrait, sorry. Why I choose editorial portrait? Because if I have just an Asian woman, you have an Asian woman. What you see from vibe of her eyes and lips is coming from this indication that I gave to Firefly. And for next step, I choose an Asian woman as a subject. So this is why you see an Asian woman in this picture with small, tiny fish swimming around her face. And these are tiny fishes around her face that are swimming. So basically, I have photo type and then I have a subject plus action that you can see here. I'm just pushing the indication of parameters in better way to give a better understanding to my AI. And this is why I choose the environment as underwater. And this is why you see she's underwater with these fishes around. And by using some technical details and modification, putting it forward, I just prioritize it more. Because guys, if you put your parameters in left side, you're going to be prioritizing more. If they are in the left side, so AI just not give so much attention to that parameters in very first step before AI shaping your image, because it's going to be going through the diffusion process. And when it's going to be diffusing that picture from noise, so it's going to be having some picture from the whole frame. By this, I want to be sure that these elements are in very first step of my diffusion process of the image that I want to provide, and not giving a chance to be randomized in the end of result. So this is why I just put the technical details and modification in the very first step. So this is why you have open eye and playful expression, hyper realistic, high details, minimum retouch, divided by semicolons. Light reflection of water on face is coming from modification, because I want to have these reflection on her face to just spice up the picture, and not because that was important for me. I just did some try and I didn't get these reflection on face of my model. So this is why I just put it here as a part of my prompting. I just gather around some image elements example that you can also use. My suggestion is to go to platform like Firefly or Midjourney or other platforms to see other people's work and example as a reference and break it down as much as possible. It's going to be a practice for you guys. Please do it, please. And write down for me, send me a DM on my Instagram, comment below on my YouTube. So I'm going to read your breaking down practices. If you can send me a link on Google Drive or whatever it is. So just please do that experimental training for your mind, for your eyes also, to break down image as much as you can, because by this you're going to be having better understanding, and this is how you can also put down your imagination on paper. This is a kind of formula that you can use as a recipe for image. And sometimes when I'm just lost on what I want to do, I'm just using these image elements recipe by starting with my photo type. Then I'm focusing on subject, what I want as a subject. Then I'm just imagine what is the atmosphere I'm like and I want to have. And then I'm focusing on color schemes and composition. And the last part is modification for me. And these are two examples that I choose for you with the prompt here: minimalistic flowers suspended in a large block of ice, reflection of light, rainbow chromatic light leak, sharp resolution, studio environment, and this is the result that you can see. This is the result that you can see. Once again, you divide the parameters with semicolons. You divide the parameters with semicolons. So don't put a lot of words in a one just parameter. So be specific, be as short as possible, because sometimes, most of the times, AI is going to be super confused by using all the elements that you have in your mind. Here, I have another example, and also a photo that you maybe can take a screenshot. I will send the PDF also to you guys if you comment below, so I can send you a PDF of this presentation so you can have it in your own computer also to use it. And these are really simple placeholder for you to just write down your ideas and phototypes and what you are looking for to get these astonishing example images in each format that you are looking for. Maybe subject photography, portrait, I don't know, a surrealistic, landscape, fashion photography, fusion cloth designing, and it can be whatever you want. It can be whatever you want as long as you know what you want. You see, this is super important. This is super important, guys. So we will move forward with the recipe of visual building blocks. That is the process that I have been developing in last years to just have some indication of what I have to be considered and what I have to think about. And this is what you see here. This is the main part of my presentation part that I will focus on. So, and you can see these are starting from left to right, and then this is this second raw, and this is the last raw. So style and medium, we talk about it. It's a phototype that you want to have, like medium shot, I don't know, wide, ultra wide image, or maybe you want to indicate your style like a 3D design or surrealistic design. So this is why you have to choose it in first step. And then you have the subject and action. We talked about it, you know more about it right now. And then you go through the environment, and you can have also scene props. Like it's just an example. If you write a portrait of a beautiful woman, then you definitely have a randomized portrait of a beautiful woman. But if you go with the portrait of a beautiful woman in a library with butterflies flying around her face, then you can already imagine the picture that I described it for you. And this is coming from this blocking breakdown, guys. This is what you can use and what you hopefully can find useful in your process of prompting. And the next step is color scheme, lighting, composition, technical details. And what you can see that I have black and yellow, and this is why you see black and yellow color dominating on my picture, because I just dominated here as a black and yellow color scheme for what I'm looking for this image. And you can have lighting also, you can have composition, you can have technical details. And the next step is modifying for your image. This is gonna be your ultimate guide for prompting, and you can break it down. Just as a tips and suggestion, I want to say that I'm coming from traditional background of photography and traditional way of production setup. What I learned through the years, almost 16 years of working with traditional production, is that we always specify as much as possible on our breaking shooting list or treatment or brief on the project. And this is what you can use on your AI prompting also to get a better result. Here is just a randomized coordination that I want to show you. And what you see with the color blocks, let's just say that they are turned on. And if they are on gray, let's say they are turned off. I don't focus on this part, and I don't want to have this. So, but for example, for this photo, for phototype, I choose graphic design, obviously. And then I have Japanese breathtaking wonderland. This is what you see as a subject and action and environment. And for modification, maybe I choose, I don't know, pencil drawing color style. So this is why you see a kind of canvas painting from that picture that you see. And this is another example of coordination I have been choosing. I choose these 4 elements for my picture, which is fashion photography of a man wearing sports we're in the RGB, like you see the blue color and red color lighting setup in composition of the centered subject. This is another example. Coordination 3 is a phototype. This is a fashion photography picture of a person with the cowboy hat, jacket. And also for color scheme, I was really specified about divided red and shallow red color on the jacket with green, and also yellow with yellow tie. And this is how you can indicate and dictate what you want from the image that you are looking for to your AI, so specific as much as possible. So here we have some prompt tips that you can have in your mind. And I gathered these prompt tips out from my experience and also references that I find all around the internet. And I have been test all these tips that you already can see on your screen before, and I know that they are working. They are super important, and they are not so complex, but couple points that you just can have in your mind. Maybe you can print it out and put it on your desk. The first part is that you don't need to use complete sentence. Like if you say, draw a picture of, no, don't go with it. Or I want a picture of, no, don't go with this complete sentence that is right in grammatic. So Firefly works great with simple sentences and simple phrase that we can choose. The second thing is that try use emotion and style word like cozy or mysterious to evoke mood. And this is what we had also in one of the frames that I show you before. As I say, you don't repeat yourself, you just somehow give more emotion and more understanding of the style that you want to emphasize in the end result of your image. It's not going to be working with long, text prompting. This suggestion from Firefly is to have it more or less 175 words, which is kind of one sentence or maybe 1.5 sentence. And as we talked about, you don't have to use the command phrases like create an image or make me something. So these are unnecessary actually for your Firefly commands and prompting. You can use commas and semicolons for dividing your prompts and organizing your indication parameters. And if you have something that is really important for you, super important for you, you can use asterisks to just push it forward, that Firefly has to concentrate on what you want, like as a color or as something really specific for you. So these are your prompts guide also, that you can use asterisks, semicolons, and commas on your prompt. So Firefly said that remember the prompt bar is not a chat box. It's not going to be remember what you have been said to it previously. So it's not like other AIs like ChatGPT that you say based on what we have been talked or what we have as a conversation. It's not going to be understanding you simply. But if you want to have like a series of photo, I'm going to show you another video how we can work with Adobe Firefly boards, which is amazing, phenomenal tool, I think, because there you can have a series of photo with the same kind of vibe, but in different variation. The last part is that if you want to avoid AI look, as I say, something that is not plastical, just use realistic or naturalistic word in your prompt, so it's going to be giving more visual intensity to your image. And you can also use visual intensity on side panel details on Firefly by choosing photo type or graphic type and just maximize the visual intensity of what you want. We are really near to the end of this video. I hope you find this video useful, and I hope it's going to be giving you some picture that how you can prompting in a better way. For upcoming videos, we will going to be breaking down these elements more, and I'm going to give you some indications and also parameters that you can use for your prompt, like what can be the compositions, what are the parameters of composition. For example, I just put this just put some example here as a part of composition, and this is rule of third, golden ratio, lines, framing, balancing, motion, and I'm going to show you different example of how they are working and how we can use them. But composition is just one parameter. We have shoot type, we have photography style, movement, and so on and so on. And also in the end part, we're going to be talking about Firefly, complete list of effects which is already on Firefly and you can use on your project. I'm here to take your hand and make sure you don't miss out on the exciting world of AI. And I truly believe you are the most valuable spark of creativity out there. Your story matter, and it's your unique perspective and vision that really bring it to life. AI is a tool, a smart assistant, and I will be walking you through this journey. Push the like button, and I appreciate your support by subscribing to my channel. Follow my Instagram to see behind the scenes and exclusive content. Also in extra, I will give away an AI Gen guide when we hit 5K together on YouTube channel. If it sounds fair for you, then thanks. Keep up with the good work, keep up with the creativity, be humble, stay positive, be happy. Cheers.